What if you're not failing? You're just distracted. I know that hits hard, but let's be honest. Maybe it's not about bad luck, lack of talent, or not having the right people around you. Maybe the real problem is how you're spending your time. While you're stuck in endless scrolling, jumping from one notification to another, chasing tiny hits of pleasure, your real life is slipping away. And here's the worst part. You probably don't even notice it until one day you look around and wonder where your energy, your drive, and your dreams went. Nobody talks about this because it's uncomfortable, but the truth is simple. Your future is being shaped by what you choose to do when no one's watching. That one extra episode, that quick check on your phone, that excuse to rest when you know you should move, those little choices, they're costing you big. And it's not your fault for not knowing. Most people are stuck in this loop, but now that you do know, what you do next is 100% on you. Success isn't just for the lucky, it's for the focused. It's for the ones who wake up and say, enough, I'm done wasting time. If you've been feeling like something's missing, like you're meant for more, like you're running out of time but don't know where to start, then this video is for you. Because in the next few minutes, you won't just hear the truth, you'll feel it. And once you do, you'll never look at your life the same way again. Get ready, because this might just be the wake-up call you didn't know you needed, but can't afford to miss. Let's be real. Distraction is everywhere. 1 minute you're ready to work, the next you're checking a random notification or scrolling through your feed. It feels harmless, but it's not. Success and distraction don't mix. You can't chase your dreams while chasing likes, parties, or every shiny thing that pops up. Every time you stop to look at your phone, you're pulling energy away from what matters. Those small moments add up. Before you know it, days turn into months, and your goals stay stuck on paper. People who win big, they've learned to protect their focus like it's gold, because it is. The crazy part is how easy it is to waste time without noticing. Just 5 minutes, you say. But those 5 minutes turn into 10, then 20, then a full hour gone. The brain needs time to get into deep focus, and every distraction resets that process. Imagine how much progress you're losing every day. Now stretch that over a year. That's not just time lost. It's potential, growth, and dreams slipping away. The ones who truly succeed are the ones who learn to shut out the noise. That's when they finally start hearing their inner voice, the one that knows what they're really meant to do. Sure, entertainment has its place. Watching a show, hanging with friends, having fun, it's all part of life. But if that becomes your main routine, you're not living, you're escaping. And it's a sneaky kind of escape because it feels good in the moment. But behind that good feeling is a slow drift away from your goals. Success isn't against fun. It's just about balance. Sometimes you have to say no to now to say yes to later. That later is your dream, your purpose, your breakthrough. And it only shows up when you choose it over the easy way out. That moment when you feel stuck, that's your wake-up call. The cycle of distraction, guilt, false promises, and back to distraction, it keeps going until you break it. Most people don't. They get tired, discouraged, or too used to comfort. But winners, real winners, make a new decision. They stop giving their time to things that don't give anything back. They choose long-term wins over short-term highs. That's not being boring. It's being smart. It's being clear. And that clarity? That's the start of real transformation. Here's the truth. If you want something big, you have to treat your time like it matters. Because it does. Focus is a choice you make every day. Not once. Not just when you feel motivated, but every single day, especially when it's hard. People who grow the most are the ones who stay consistent in silence. No one's clapping. No one sees it. But that's where success is built. When you're alone, focused, and still moving. That's where we go next. Let's get one thing straight. Focus isn't a luxury. It's a lifeline. If you want to build anything meaningful in life, you can't just try your best when you feel like it. You've got to show up even when it's boring, even when you're tired, even when no one's watching. Most people wait for motivation to kick in, but that's not how winners operate. They don't wait, they work. Focus means doing what needs to be done, even when you'd rather be doing anything else. It's the quiet grind, the invisible effort, the choice to keep going when quitting feels easier. That's how results are made, not in a rush of excitement, but in daily commitment. Think about it. How many goals have you set but never finished? Probably more than you'd like to admit. The missing piece usually isn't talent or opportunity. It's focus. It's the ability to say, this matters, and then act like it actually does. Life throws distractions at you non-stop, but if you don't protect your energy, your dreams won't protect themselves. Staying focused doesn't mean you won't ever get tired or off track. It just means you come back faster. You remember your why, and that reason pulls you back to your path, stronger every time. People often say, I just don't have time, but that's rarely true. The time is there. It's just not being used well. Focus isn't just about working more. It's about working smarter. It's looking at your day and asking, what moves me closer to my goal? Then doing that, on repeat. Cut out what doesn't matter. Block what drains your energy. Build habits that support your vision, not your comfort zone. Because let's be real, comfort doesn't lead to growth. Clarity and consistency do. And that only happens when you guard your focus like your future depends on it. Because it does. If you're serious about success, you can't rely on mood swings. You've got to build discipline. Focus is a muscle. And like any muscle, it gets stronger the more you train it. Every time you choose to work instead of scroll, read instead of binge watch, or plan instead of procrastinate, you're building that muscle. And yeah, it's uncomfortable sometimes, but that discomfort is where your edge is. It's where your future self starts thanking you. No one becomes great by accident. They become great on purpose, with focus, with effort, with daily decisions that add up to something powerful. The truth is, most people will give up halfway. Not because they couldn't make it, but because they didn't stay focused long enough. They lost sight of what they were fighting for. But you can choose differently. You can keep your eyes on the goal, even when it gets tough. Even when life throws noise your way, that kind of focus separates the dreamers from the doers. And the ones who stay locked in, they start seeing results no one thought were possible. But first, you've got to decide to stop drifting and start dialing in. Let's talk about something that's not flashy, but changes everything. Discipline. Look at any high achiever. Elon Musk, Cristiano Ronaldo, Michael Jordan. You see the success, the trophies, the fame. But what you don't see is the insane level of self-control behind the scenes. These people don't wake up excited every day. They wake up committed. When everyone else is sleeping, they're working. When others are partying, they're practicing. Discipline is their secret weapon. Not motivation, not luck, just the consistent decision to show up, especially when it's hard. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't become one of the best because he was born lucky. He trained like a maniac, even on holidays. He skipped desserts when others went for seconds. He showed up early, left late, and treated every moment like it mattered. That's not magic. That's mindset. And the same goes for Jordan. He practiced the basics more than anyone. Thousands of free throws, day after day. It's not glamorous, but it's powerful. Greatness comes from what you do in the dark, not in the spotlight. And if they can do it, so can you. But it starts with choosing discipline over comfort. Discipline means doing things you don't feel like doing, again and again. It means creating your own rules and sticking to them, no matter what. No one's forcing these people to be great. They force themselves. They understand that freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you want. It comes from doing what you must. That's how goals get crushed. That's how dreams become reality. Not in one big heroic leap, but in 1,000 small steps that no one claps for. The world sees the finish line, but discipline is the race you run in silence. Here's what most people don't get. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Even the best fall off track sometimes. What makes them different is they don't stay down. They bounce back quickly. They don't let one bad day become a bad week. And they don't let excuses become habits. Discipline teaches you to keep going when your feelings beg you to quit. It turns pressure into fuel. It makes you dangerous in the best way because it means you're willing to do what others won't. And that's where separation begins. So if you're wondering how to rise above average, stop waiting to feel ready. Start building discipline. It's not fun at first, but it changes you. It sharpens your focus, strengthens your mind, and connects you to your purpose. You become someone who can trust yourself, someone who follows through. That's rare. That's powerful. And that's the kind of person who turns dreams into results. Now, let's talk about the tough choices that come with that path. Let's be honest. No one likes making hard choices. But here's the truth most people avoid. Easy choices now lead to a hard life later. And hard choices now, they lead to a better future. Skipping Netflix to study, saying no to parties to work on your goals, logging off social media to read a book. None of it feels fun in the moment. But that's where growth lives. Every no to a distraction is a yes to your dream. You don't get both. And the longer you wait to make tough decisions, the longer you delay the life you want. Period. We all crave comfort, but comfort is a sneaky trap. It makes you feel safe while slowly stealing your progress. Choosing what's easy gives you a quick hit of relief, but it costs you long-term joy. It's like eating candy for dinner. It tastes good now, but it wrecks you later. If you want results, you've got to do what most people won't. That's the price of growth. The people you admire didn't get lucky. They just made the kind of choices that most aren't willing to make. Over and over. That's the real difference. Think about your habits. Are they helping you build the life you want or keeping you stuck? Every time you open that app, binge watch another show, or say, "I'll do it tomorrow," you're making a choice. And it's not just a small one. You're training your brain to avoid discomfort. But discomfort is where change happens. Want to grow stronger, smarter, more successful? Then stop running from hard things. Face them. Embrace them. Because every uncomfortable decision you make today is shaping a better version of you tomorrow. No one's saying it's easy. In fact, that's the whole point. It's not supposed to be. But that's what makes it powerful. The world is full of people choosing the easy route. But look closely. Are they fulfilled? Are they growing? Most aren't. Because nothing changes until you do. The moment you decide to stop avoiding the hard stuff is the moment everything starts shifting. It's like flipping a switch. You realize you don't need permission. You just need courage and the willingness to act, even when it's uncomfortable. So next time you're tempted by the easy way out, pause. Ask yourself, what's this really costing me? Your dream, your progress, your future? The answer is usually more than you think. And once you understand that, the hard choice becomes the obvious one. Because deep down, you know what needs to be done. You've always known. The real question is, will you choose your growth or your comfort? Let's explore what happens when you do, and no one's watching. Success doesn't come from doing something once and hoping for the best. It's built through repetition. Quiet, boring, behind-the-scenes repetition. The kind no one claps for. Think of a basketball player shooting the same free throw over and over while the gym is empty. That's where real excellence is born. Not in the big moments, but in the invisible grind. Most people quit because they want fast results. But the truth is, repetition is what sharpens your skill, builds your mindset, and prepares you for your moment. If you want to shine when it counts, you have to grind when no one sees. Repetition isn't glamorous. It's waking up early, again, practicing that speech, again, studying that chapter, again, and again, and again. It feels slow, but it works. Every time you repeat something with intention, your brain gets sharper, your moves get smoother. You become better without even noticing at first. That's the magic. And while others are busy looking for shortcuts, you're building a solid foundation. A foundation that won't crack under pressure. Because you've already faced the pressure, alone, in silence, while no one was watching. Let's be real. Repetition can feel frustrating. It's easy to think, why am I not there yet? But that's the wrong question. The right one is, am I showing up consistently? Because that's what matters. Excellence doesn't come from doing different things. It comes from doing the right thing, repeatedly, until it becomes second nature. Athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, they all know this. They've repeated the same moves, routines, and decisions so many times, it becomes who they are. You don't rise by accident. You rise through rhythm, repetition, and relentless practice. There's a reason most people don't reach their goals. They get bored. They want excitement. But success is built on structure. You don't need to do everything. You need to do the right things over and over. It's about creating a rhythm so strong that even when you're tired, you still show up. That's what separates winners from the rest. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's repetition with purpose. Quiet effort, over time, leads to loud results. And the best part? When your moment finally comes, you won't have to get ready. You'll already be prepared. So if you're wondering why things aren't moving fast enough, stop doubting yourself. Keep repeating, keep improving. The results may not show right away, but they're stacking up behind the scenes. And one day, when the spotlight hits, all those silent reps will speak for themselves. That's when people will call you lucky. But you'll know the truth. You earned it, in the quiet. And that same quiet place? It's where we head next, because sometimes success means standing strong, even when you're standing alone. Let's face it, success can get lonely. When you decide to change, not everyone will understand. Friends might drift away, people might talk, some will think you've changed, and they're right. You are changing. And that's a good thing. Growth often means outgrowing old habits and sometimes even old relationships. It's not easy, but it's necessary. The journey to something greater usually starts with walking alone. But here's the powerful truth. Being alone doesn't mean being lost. It means you're choosing yourself, your vision, and your future, even if no one else claps for you yet. There will be days when you doubt yourself, days when you look around and feel like no one gets it. And that's okay. You're not crazy. You're just ahead. Most people avoid the discomfort of growth, so when you face it, it makes you different. And being different feels isolating at first, but stay with it. Those quiet moments, they build your inner strength. They teach you to trust your own voice, your own path. And in time, you'll look back and realize that the season of being alone wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Being determined means choosing to keep going even when you feel invisible. It means putting in the work without applause and staying disciplined without validation. You stop needing permission, you stop needing approval, and that's where real freedom begins. When you're no longer driven by what others think, you become unstoppable. You start making decisions based on your values, not opinions. And while others are stuck in the crowd, you're moving forward with purpose. Alone, yes, but powerful, because you've got something they don't: clarity. Sometimes the hardest part isn't the work, it's the silence, the lack of support, the feeling that no one's cheering you on. But the truth is, not everyone's meant to walk with you. Some paths are designed for your feet only. And when you accept that, the loneliness starts to feel different. It becomes sacred. You realize you're not actually lonely. You're focused. And while they're distracted, you're building. Quietly, steadily, unshakably. That's where strength is born. In the space where it's just you and your goal. So if you feel like you're walking this path alone, keep walking. You're not behind. You're just ahead of your time. One day, the same people who didn't understand will ask how you did it. And you'll smile, knowing that it all started in the quiet, in the solitude, in the choice to keep going. But before the world notices, you've got to understand the value of time and why every second you waste is a second you never get back. Time is the one thing you can never get back. You can lose money and make it again. You can lose friends and meet new ones. But once time is gone, it's gone for good. Most people live like they have unlimited tomorrows. But the truth, you don't. Every day that passes is one less day you have to build your dream, fix what's broken, or become who you're meant to be. Waiting for the perfect moment is a trap. That moment doesn't exist. The only moment you truly own is now, and wasting it is the biggest loss of all. Look around. How many people do you know who say, "I'll start next week"? They say it with confidence, like time is guaranteed. But life doesn't promise you next week. It doesn't even promise tomorrow. Every second you spend doing something that doesn't serve your purpose is a second you'll never see again. That's why urgency matters. It's not about rushing. It's about realizing what's at stake. You don't need to panic, but you do need to act. Every day is a chance to move, grow, build, and become. The clock doesn't care how tired you are. It keeps ticking, and every tick is either bringing you closer to your dream or further away. Time is always moving. The question is, are you moving with it? Are you using it or wasting it? Think about it. If you had only 1 year left to chase your goals, what would you do differently? What would you stop doing? Those answers matter, because deep down, you already know what's wasting your time. And if you know, it's time to do something about it. People often say, there's still time. And yes, maybe there is. But how much? And how are you using it? That's what matters most. Time is a gift, but it's also a test. What you do with it shows what you truly value. If you really care about your growth, your success, your life, you'll stop giving your time to things that steal your future. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It means you have to be aware and intentional. Because when time runs out, there's no refund, no restart, no redo. So next time you think, I'll do it later, remember this: later might be too late. The best time to start was yesterday. The next best time is now. The future you want is waiting, but only if you're willing to act in the present. You're not stuck, you're just stalling. And every moment you delay is a moment you could be building something incredible. But building only happens when you're all in, when you're committed. And that's exactly what we'll explore next. There's a huge difference between being interested and being committed. When you're interested, you do what's convenient. But when you're committed, you do whatever it takes. That shift changes everything. It turns your "I hope" into "I will." Commitment isn't about feeling ready. It's about deciding that you're done playing small. It's looking at your dream and saying, this is happening, period. No backup plan, no half effort, just a deep, unshakable decision to show up every single day until the goal is real. Once you commit, life starts to shift, not because of magic, but because your actions get sharper. Your energy gets focused. You stop wasting time on things that don't align. You start moving with purpose. That's when people say, it's like the universe is helping you. But really, it's just you finally helping yourself. Opportunities show up because you're finally showing up. The doors you've been waiting for, they open when you stop waiting and start walking. Commitment activates everything that was sleeping inside you. It's easy to stay stuck when your mind is filled with maybes. Maybe I'll try. Maybe next year. Maybe if I feel more confident. But commitment clears that fog. It brings clarity, and clarity brings momentum. The moment you stop leaving room for excuses is the moment things start to change. You start making better choices. You start using your time differently. Your focus sharpens. Your discipline kicks in. And even when you feel like quitting, your commitment reminds you why you started. That's the power of going all in. Of course, commitment is uncomfortable. It forces you to let go of old habits, old stories, and sometimes old people. But what you gain is far greater. You gain a new level of belief in yourself. You become someone who follows through. And that kind of person can't be stopped. The world respects commitment. It moves for people who move with purpose. You don't need to be the smartest or the most talented. You just need to be the one who refuses to give up. That's who wins. So if you've been halfway in, now's the time to make the shift. Decide, commit, and keep going. You won't see instant results, but you will see real ones. And as you push forward, you'll realize you're not just chasing a dream. You're becoming the person who can handle it. That internal battle, the one between doubt, laziness, and your purpose, yeah, that's up next. Every day there's a battle going on, but it's not out there. It's inside you. It's not about fighting other people. It's about fighting your own doubts, fears, and laziness. The real war is between who you are now and who you want to become. And here's the hard truth. No one else sees this fight. No one knows how hard it is to get out of bed when you feel lost. No one claps for you when you choose growth over comfort. But you know, you feel it. And every day you wake up and try again, you're winning, even if it doesn't look like it yet. There's a voice in your head that says, you're not good enough, or you'll never make it. And some days, that voice is loud. But that's when the fight gets real. Because courage isn't about never hearing those thoughts. It's about not believing them. It's choosing to take action even when your mind tells you to stop. It's showing up anyway. That inner resistance, it's part of the process. And the more you face it, the stronger you become. The war doesn't get easier, but you get better at fighting it. Distractions, excuses, and doubts don't just show up once. They show up every day. They come back when you're tired, when you failed, or when you feel alone. That's why you need armor. And that armor is built from small wins. Waking up early, sticking to your plan, pushing through when you want to quit. Each of those moments strengthens you. You're building resilience in silence. You're becoming someone who doesn't back down. And that kind of strength, it can't be faked. It has to be earned in the heat of that invisible war. Most people give up because they expect the battle to end. But the truth is, it doesn't. Growth is a lifelong fight, And you don't win it by trying to be perfect. You win by showing up, by learning, by adapting, by understanding that every time you push through the mental noise, you gain ground. You get closer to the version of you that's been waiting on the other side of fear. And the more often you fight, the more you realize it's not about never falling. It's about always rising, always returning to the path. So next time your mind starts to attack you, remember this. The battle is proof you're trying. It means you haven't quit. And that puts you ahead of most. Keep fighting. Keep showing up. Because this war, it's not just against fear. It's between the old you and the new one. And soon, you'll see that the only real opponent was never out there. It's always been you versus you. Speaking of that, at the end of the day, it's always been you versus you. Not your parents, not your friends, not society, just you. Your greatest obstacle and your greatest power live in the same place, your mind. The voice that says, you can't, and the one that whispers, keep going, are both yours. So the real question is, which one are you listening to? Because the version of you that wins is the one you feed. If you keep waiting for someone to save you, you'll wait forever. The truth is, no one's coming. You have to become your own hero. Change doesn't come from outside. It starts the moment you take full responsibility for your life. The moment you stop blaming others, stop making excuses and say, this is on me. That shift is powerful because it means you're finally in control. It means you're no longer reacting. You're choosing. And with every choice, you're either moving closer to who you want to be or further away. No one else can walk that path for you. No one else can fight your battles. But once you realize the power is in your hands, everything starts to shift. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to begin. One choice, one action, one win at a time. That's how you start to rewrite your story. And yes, you'll make mistakes. You'll fall. But you'll also rise, stronger, clearer, more focused than before. This journey isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming the real you, the one you've buried under fear, comfort, and doubt. Every step you take in the direction of your truth is a step away from who you were told to be and toward who you were meant to be. It's not about being perfect. It's about being honest about where you are, what you want, and what you're willing to do to get there. That kind of honesty is rare and powerful. Most people lie to themselves just to feel better. But you're here because you're ready to face it, to stop running, to stop hiding. And once you do that, the game changes. The power comes back to you. Not because things get easier, but because you become stronger, strong enough to handle the hard stuff. So now the mirror is in front of you. Who are you really fighting? Who do you want to become? And what are you willing to do about it? The choice is yours. Always has been. And maybe, just maybe, that version of you you've been chasing, they've been waiting for you to finally decide. But before you go all in, let's go back to the beginning. So now the question is, what are you going to do with all this? Will you keep living on autopilot, watching your goals fade while distractions win every time? Or will today be the day you draw the line and choose to take control for real? Think about it. What would change if, starting now, you gave your full focus to what actually matters? What would your life look like in 6 months if you stopped making excuses and started showing up every single day? You don't need permission. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to act. Start small, stay consistent, and trust the process. Because this isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. But that only happens if you move. If this message hit you deep, don't just close the video and forget it. Take the first step now, subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay with us. We're just getting started, and so are you.